This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so some updates on Yella Beezy. All right, so he is getting a bail reduction. So they're reducing his bail from $2 million to $750,000. I guess he has a good lawyer that was able to produce this, so he can probably put up his house at this point. I think that's about what his house is probably worth. And he can get out. Now, this is a funny case because what's probably happening is the guy that was, caught for it, he's snitching on Yella Beezy. He's saying Yella Beezy paid him, and there is some evidence of this. Supposedly, he took out $40,000 days after the shooting of MO3. And it looks like it's like capital murder for hire. So let's see, he's been indicted 22. So this all happened in 2020. They claim Conway hired Kewan White to carry out the killing on Interstate 35 in Dallas. If he felt like he needed to do this, which is correct, MO3 was terrorizing him. MO3 is not innocent in this, okay? MO3 was terrorizing them. They were terrorizing him back. But MO3 was, like, unaliving people. I think Yella Beezy got that shooting that happened was connected to MO3 some way. MO3 probably would have gone down for that shooting eventually, where Yella Beezy spun out in his G-Wagon and ended up in the hospital with gunshot wounds. Man, you don't want to get into... And this is all over a song. This is a petty beef. But, hey, man, you don't want to get into beef. Let's say the moral of the story is you don't want to get into beef. So anyways, he'll probably be out fighting this case soon. He's always in some kind of trouble, Yella Beezy. I'm going to be honest with you. But to throw your whole life away, you finally make it in the rap game, and you can't find a way to have a ceasefire. Everyone's egos are getting into play, and you can't find a way to coexist and both make money. That's crazy, Later, you realize, I tricked myself out of this situation. So Whack 100, as we know, he's doing a great job being Popo 100, and he's uncovering a lot of stuff. Now, Luce Cannon, I'm seeing different audio of him or video. Luce Cannon was a loose lips, superstar online. Once Whack 100 introduced him to the internet, man, that was like a confessional for this guy. He was like, Big U, he did a toy drive, and he pretended like the toys got stolen. He stole them himself, and then got everyone to donate to his Cash App and everything, and they bought more toys. And he acted like it was some miracle, a Christmas miracle. He got on the news. We're seeing Big U shaking people down for 500 here, 1,000 there. And yeah, that might have been happening. But you know what? You know what's the worst part about it? All these guys are criminals. It's not like they're, do-gooders out here. They didn't let the police do their job. They're doing the job for the police. And if you can't see that Whack 100, Luce Cannon, 600, they're all doing the job of a police. Luce Cannon hatred for Big U went so deep that he tricked himself off the street. He didn't realize he was telling on himself. Yeah, Big U had us do this. He had us do that. You were doing it. And then his wife still thinks that he's gonna get off scot-free. You can't make this stuff up. And then the whole thing where they're trying to paint Nipsey being taken by a diabolical operation that Big U set up. There would be more proof behind this, okay? I think it's basically what everybody thought what it originally painted. It originally was painted as Eric Holder was dissed by Nipsey and felt like he was going to be called out by the gang, and then maybe have repercussions for snitching, so he took out Nipsey. Plus, when a rapper accuses you of, even if the rapper is really from the street and everything, it's still like, you know, it hurts more. Let's just say that. So yeah, that's that, man. It's a crazy situation. So do I believe that Big U had anything to do with Nipsey? No. I know for a fact they were cool again at the time of his passing. For a fact. For a fact. It would have had to been something that happened within that month. Whack 100 claims, Whack 100, don't forget, like, all the stuff that Whack 100 was the one exposing the toy thing, too. He was on there. So he took the toys and returned them? Like, bro, they're doing police work. They're doing police work. There's no coming back from the amount of... Now that there's an action that happened from Whack 100 outing Big U on the internet for 2 years, that a RICO came out? Bro. You can't deny that stuff. Whack 100 was the one that's saying Nipsey had a sex tape out here and he was going to expose it to him being... But why would you do that to him? He's dead. Why would you do that to him? He's dead. Why would you want to embarrass him after he's dead? And then he says Biggie was calling me to release the tape and all that. But why would Biggie want to discredit Nipsey after his death? Like, make sense of this stuff. You can't. You can't. It's insane. And the fact that Luce Cannon wife is trying to get fame off this RICO says everything. I mean, she was just waiting for something like this to happen. So, yeah, Yella Beezy should be home this week since they reduced his bail. He can finally make bail. I'm not saying he didn't have it before, but you don't want to have that much money tied up, or, you know, I don't think his house is worth $2 million. Not in outskirts of Dallas. There's a lot of houses that are worth a lot of money in Dallas. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Dallas is what, but I think he lives like an hour outside of Dallas. And, you know, there you can get a mansion for about $1 million. You know, like you can get a good size house, you know, 6,000 to 8,000 square feet. I'm pretty sure. I know in Dallas it's extremely expensive, but an hour outside of anywhere, even an hour outside of Atlanta, where Boosie lives in the boondocks, 90 minutes from Atlanta. It's cheap out there. Nobody wants to live out. There's nothing there. There's like a Walmart and that's it. You know, you're very far removed. Amazon ain't delivering for like, you know, 7 days to 2 weeks. You're basically in a third world country. No, I'm just joking, but it's like it's different. Anyways, I'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on. I have more fresh news later. I just wanted to quickly do this video to update you guys on everything, and I will check you in about 2 hours with news updates. Thanks so much. Peace.